So it's very clear. There's really no loopholes for Christians who are trying to, you know, bend what Scripture says because perhaps they've believed in different theories or whatever like that, and they're trying to, you know, make the Scripture say something different. It's very clear.
Right,
very
pretty clear. Yeah.
So why is this important? Well, one of the topics that always comes up when I'm doing Q&A, or very often, is the concept of where did Cain get his wife? If Adam and Eve are the mother and father of all people, you know, they have many children, but we've got Cain kills Abel. Cain has a wife. Where did she come from? And I'm going to give you a specific example from actually an occult source, you know, the Wiccans, the witches, and this is from a quote from Silver Ravenwolf. I'm sure that was her given name.
Yeah, okay.
She's posing this question because what she's done is she's written a book, and she's teaching her witches to proselytize, witness to Christian kids in high schools.
So Silver Ravenwolf is one of the leaders of this religion, the Wicca witches.
That's right, and this is the way it's posed to kids. This is out of her book. She says, here's one that'll really get them rolling. If you're lucky, it'll at least get them thinking. In the Bible it says that Cain slew Abel, then left his parents Adam and Eve and went to the land of Nod. There he married a girl of another tribe. If Adam and Eve were the first humans, who or what did Cain marry? An antelope, a cheetah? He had children, so I guess he picked a woman. She couldn't have been from Adam and Eve's daughter stolen from the Garden of Eden hospital, because we'd all be insane by now. Genetics have taught us a great deal in the last 100 years, particularly the fact that you can't intermarry. After a few generations, the genes will break down and produce sickly or insane children. So see how she's setting this up here. You go and you ask the Christians, where did Cain get his wife? He couldn't have married a sister, because we'd be insane by now. So they're using arguments from genetics to take away the legitimacy of the Bible and then promote their own religion.
Right.
So there's some truth in here, but there's also some fabrication.
Yeah, there's some legitimate questions, right?
Right.
What about close relations marrying? You get problems in the offspring. That's genetic defects and so on. So.
Right, right. Now, one thing that was misquoted there is the fact that Cain went to the land of Nod and got a wife. Now, he already had a wife. He knew his wife in the biblical sense.
Yeah, she also said from another tribe. Well, there weren't other people groups. So.
Right, right. So how do we explain this? Well, of course, today, of course, you can't marry someone that's a close relative, or you can, but the risk is that you're going to have birth defects, right? But in the beginning, it would have been different. Because if you really examine, we've talked about, you know, genetic mutation and stuff like that. This is what the genetics are doing today. They're actually increasing. We're having increased mutations and stuff like that.
Increased mutations over time, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you go back in time, they're better, 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 better. In the beginning, everything is very good.
No mutations.
No mutations. Right. So what does that mean? Well, if we look in Leviticus 18:6, this is where God gives a commandment. No longer should there be any close marriage. But
okay, that was quite a long time after creation, wasn't it?
That's a very long time. If you actually look at the timeline here, we've got 2,500 years from the creation to when this is given. So that means Cain could have married a sister.
Can you marry your relative? According to the Bible, all people on earth go back to Noah's family, and before that, back to Adam and Eve. Since we all are ultimately the descendants of the same parents, all people are related. You have to marry your relative. If you don't, you marry something that isn't human. Of course, today, we don't marry our close relatives for legal and biological reasons. We marry someone further away in relation to us.
Now, did you get that? Just before the break, we said that Cain would have married his sister. And most of you are probably going, you know, can we do that? Look, all people are related, right? We all go back to the Tower of Babel, back to Noah and back to Adam and Eve. So all people are related anyways. You have to marry one of your relations.